It's Wednesday, June 18th. This is Eastern Red Cedar, Juniper. Look at this mess. Look at this mess. What do you think? You think I can make a bow out of this? I have my doubts, but we're going to see what it looks like, all right? You don't know until I have a rough center line. I'm going to trim it, and we're going to see what it looks like. Well, I'm going to trim this to 66 inches. And just so you know, Eastern Red Cedar, the dust especially is irritant. It's toxic, okay? You can look up cedar fever, all right? You don't want to inhale this. If you're making dust or anything, wear a mask, wear goggles. I'm going to use a draw knife. I'm going to hand saw this. And I'm not going to use a leaf blower to clean up the dust. I'm going to sweep it up so not to put the particles in the air where I could breathe it or ingest it. Okay? Taking off some of the big limbs, trying to limb that up a little bit. I used a little hand saw, took off all those crazy limbs that was sticking out. And I'm going to just retrace my center line here. I'm using my hand and I'm following the tree, the curve of the tree. See if I can, I'm doing this twice to make sure that I'm following the bend of the tree. Okay, now that I have this mark nice and dark, and it's over top the other one that I laid out, I know that I followed the shape of the tree. I'm going to find the center point, mark the center point, work my way out, and then use a draw knife to take it down. Now that I have a center mark and 4 inches on each side, what I'm going to do with this bow here is, at the end, I have one of these flexible, cheap centering rulers. It's a centering ruler. There's a hole in the middle of the center and it goes out inches. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to measure my ends. I'm going to put 3/8 and then I'm going to follow that center line. What we're going to do is, it's going to be a little tough to try and follow the center line. I'm going to make it as wide as I can down here, wide as the stave will allow me. So here we go. Here's the ruler down here. How wide can I go? From the edge, right here from the edge is the edge to the edge will be like a 2-inch wide if I start from the edge and taper it down a little at a time towards this 3/8. Let me mark the 3/8 on this side. Okay, so now that we have 3/8 on each side, this is the challenge. The challenge is we're going to leave these fade outs right here, the thickness of this sapling. And then I'm just going to take off a little material on a draw knife, follow the grain down, and see if I could taper it down to that 3/8. And I'm going to have to do it all by eye because of the curve. And I could probably measure every 4 inches, but I wouldn't have an exact taper. So I'm going to just start working with a draw knife and eyeball it from the fade outs and start taking it down thinner and thinner. Is going to be quite the challenge for me because I never did it before. So we're going to use a draw knife. I'm going to lay it on the side so I can see the side profile. And then I'm going to start taking it down from this end of the fade out, start following the grain. See how it allows me to follow the grain. I have no idea how it's going to allow me to follow the grain, but I'm going to try. Here's the center line, and you can see how it's shaped. And I have a wedge under here. And I was able to tighten it down with the belt so I could have this on the side. And I can now follow from, here's the end of the fade out, just start using a draw knife and taking it down to the tip and see if I could taper it even. All right, I'm playing around. Never did this before. See, there's no dust, so I don't have a mask on. Okay, where it dips down, I'm going to go this way, and then I'm going to come this way. Try to follow that tape of that line. Okay, it's coming along. We're doing it. I'm doing it. Okay, it's coming along pretty nicely, considering. There's a big knot on the end here that I'm taking down, and we're going to have a horn tip, probably buffalo horn tip on the end, so it's going to be stiff. And to me, this knot, this branch that was here, this knot is insignificant. As you see, I'm coming down. I'm coming up to a branch that was here. I'm going to hand saw this branch flat and then take it the rest of the way down with the draw knife. Always use the bevel side of the draw knife down. I sawed off that branch. Cleaning it up now. I'm going to continue this taper down from the riser. Will we have a bow? Don't know. All you can do is try, and if nothing else, you learn from the experience, right? And it's only a sapling, but still I like to take off a little bit on the side, a little on the side, and then down the middle. And keep in mind, these limbs are only going to be ½ inch thick or so, maybe a hair more. Okay, this side, since it's thinner, has got a fairly good taper down. This side needs to come down a little more. It needs a little more meat taken off. So I'm going to put this ratchet strap over here and continue over here. Then we'll look at it and check out the other side. I'm going to flip it around and start working on the other side. Okay, the one side that's flat is on the bottom now. This is the other side. Here's where the fade out is. I'm going to start following the contour, and I got a lot of wood to take off. So here's the fade out. I can see the center line. I won't bore you. I'm going to shut this off because down this end, I got about a ½ inch to follow down. This is the thicker end of the sapling. It's very hot and humid. Make sure you take a break and go in and hydrate. And as I'm doing this here, I'm going down, I'm following the contour of the wood and that line I drew. Once I clean this up and get it down to the taper, then we're going to look at it again, and we're going to have to do a lot of fine tuning. I removed some bark from the riser section, and now I got to work on taking down these limb ends a little bit more. Hopefully you can see what I got going on here. Okay, this is the one side. This is the other side. This is the back of the bow, the part that faces away from you. Okay, it's really rough, but I'm working on it. And this side here with all the big knots and bumps, this is going to be the belly. And I'm going to start taking this down from the fade outs that I have marked. Taking it down, thinning it out to see if I can get a bow-like. And here's where the rise is going to be. Like this here. And I would say this is going to be the top limb. Just the way the string would line up. But we don't know yet. Meanwhile, I'm going to take it down, see if I can make some kind of limbs. I showed you this tool I bought from eBay. And it's got rollers and a pencil. And it follows the contour of the wood. Okay? Pretty good. And what else you could do if you didn't have this tool is just put your hand against it, and as long as you can hold your hand like that and slide it, your hand will follow the contour too. But this just makes it so much easier and a little more precise. So now that I have the contour of a line to go down to on this side, I'm going to put one on the other side and use the draw knife and take it down. Okay, I have the fade outs marked, and I have the limb thickness as 5/8, and I have it marked on both sides. Okay. You can see the shape of the stave, and we're going to take the draw knife and take it down. We're going to take the belly down, the part that faces your belly, to the limb thickness, close to it. Okay, make the relief cuts here. Okay, make another relief cut here. Okay, I just have relief cuts here, and I got to use the draw knife and take it down. But at least I have them marked, and I have the side lines. I got to check both side lines. Take a little off each side and the middle. A little off each side and the middle. I don't know what to take off, but just showing you the technique is take her off the sides. I have a bit of a crown here now. Watch. See the crown? I have to tilt it a little left, a little right. And we've got to be careful that when we get down to that line, that it don't rip or shred. You know, if worse goes to worse, you resort to a rasp, so you don't tear the material. It's getting a little windy out, and I'm chasing these pieces of Eastern Red Cedar all over the floor, sweeping up. So I'll try and make some go into the garbage pail. Save a little, make it a little easier cleanup. And like I said, we'll take it down with the draw knife, and if we have to, we'll use a rasp. Make sure it don't tear up. Right now I don't have a mask on because it's taking off big chunks and no real fibers are flying around through the air. A little bit, a lot of work to do. So I'm not going to bore you with watching me scrape off all of this to get down to the line. I'm going to keep on working and I'll get back to you. Okay, just to give you a little update, I got one limb almost down to the line. Here's the riser. I got to do the other limb. Here's the back of the bow, the part with the layout that faces away. Yep, there is a bow in here. I have to go in the house and take a break for at least a half hour and hydrate. I'm 66, so if you old guys are out there and you're doing this stuff, make sure you stop, you take a break, you hydrate, rest, or come back the next day. But don't overdo it. It ain't worth, you know, keeling over for. Okay, we're down to the last piece, the last side. I'm going to break out the belt sander and hit it on the belt sander. Eastern Red Cedar, the dust is an irritant, it's toxic. So wear a shield or goggles and a mask whenever you're going to do any sanding. This is going to take quite a while, so I'm going to stop here and sand it for a while and show you what I got. Well, I took it down on the belt sander quite a bit. Took some of the sides off the handle. Something tells me this will be the side with the shelf. This will be the top. Let's see how it bends. We got to floor tilt it a little bit. I think I'm going to take off some more material. Okay, this is what I got. Check it out. Eastern Red Cedar Juniper character stave. I got it floor tilled, bending. It's not going to be a heavy bow at all. And I got to decide what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to see if I fire harden it, by trying to get it to bend without a backing on it. I got to decide what I'm going to do with this. So I'm shot today. We'll figure it out another day. This sapling, now a bow stave, was laying in the trailer. It's only a couple weeks old, and it had mildew on the back. So I sprayed it with some Clorox, and I used a little 4-0 steel wool. And I sprayed with the Clorox. I let it sit for about 4 minutes, and a little steel wool, and it came right off. Now I'm going to do is just rinse it and leave it alone for a couple of days. Thanks for watching. Every day you wake up is a great day. Go out, shoot, make a bow.